it's just a song that has been, crafted in the exact way that goes against my grain, and I just don't like it. And people can love it, and I'm not going to tell them that they're wrong. I just disagree.
Well, that's almost a perfect segue for multiple reasons. So I would try to do a little bit of nonverbal communication here. I tried finding a song from this album. I really did.
I was wondering if you're going to pull it up.
Yeah. I was tempted with the Quas because that's always the one that I'm like, okay, it's not really like a real song compared to the rest of it. And then maybe I thought with My Heart Is Yearning, and I listened to it and started laughing at it. So it was like, okay. And here's what I found difficult. So obviously we're going NOFX next. That's where I'm going. Here's what I found weird about it. So like, they have like some of these jokey songs that I think are easy ones to put on this list. However, many of those jokey songs are kind of classic songs, and they do, even if I don't love them all, they just very much fit NOFX, fit the albums. So it's hard to say like, oh, that's a crappy song. It was just kind of what NOFX does. And then like, again, the other one, there was one on So Long and Thanks for the Shoes. Turns out, didn't know it, the French song is a cover. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's that one song I don't like on that album. I went through White Trash, and I was like, no, there's like the 5 songs I love and the ones that are okay, so that it really didn't qualify. War and Errorism, Pump Up the Volume, Wolves in Wolves Clothing. Couldn't really find a song I really was just like, no. So then I was like, let me get a little bit old, and I was like, and then it snapped. It just clicked last night. So I got to take out, again, another classic, early NOFX.
Oh, that's my favorite NOFX.
I think where I'm going with this, can you guess where I'm going to go with this?
No.
All right. Together in the Sand.
Huh?
No, Together in the Sand.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's a pretty stupid song.
Yeah, and it's stupid even by NOFX stupid standards. Like I would if I could make a playlist of stupid bad NOFX songs, and it'd be one of my favorite playlists that I would have. Like I would listen to that, and it would be fun. And I would still skip Together in the Sand. I just think maybe because first of all, and it's not his fault. And that was Steve who sang on it. If it's gonna be a jokey song, I like Fat Mike is funny. Everything he sings is funny. Even when he's singing serious stuff, he's funny. I don't know what it is. He's like, there's just something funny. And then Hefe is like comedic in the way. I think Hefe is actually literally a comedian. Like that's one of his side gigs. Not even kidding. So he's funny, and he does all those impersonations and this. So this is just kind of generic, and it's bad. And the joke is like, yes, there's a lot of lame jokes, but it's like I don't even laugh to it. And again, I think Ribbed is pretty much a classic. I think, again, what's everything other than that debut album, once they got going, they got going. And I really think, looking at it, Moron Brothers, Green Corn, LA, just the Flu.
Dude, great LA albums. Is so good, bro. Green Corn is so good. I love that album. Oh, I love it. I'm a Pat record tonight.
Album. Again, a frequent spinner over here, except for when we get to Together on the Sand. It just... It makes me mad in the way I think like jokey songs make you mad. Like
they drive me nuts, bro.
I feel empathetic towards your position on that when I hear that song.
I hate jokey songs. They drive me nuts. They're stupid and they're unnecessary. Like just make a comedy album so I can just skip it. I don't have to listen to it. Like I hate them. I hate when NOFX does it. All the songs that NOFX has that I don't like are their silly ones. Even when they're kind of like still kind of serious in tone, but they're like either they play it silly or it'll be real fast, but it's like a real silly lyrical song. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? I don't like when they bring the trumpet in the songs. I hate that. I don't like their ska stuff at all. I just don't. I want fast, intricate, fast NOFX songs. They've got very melodic, fast, sort of even heavy songs. Like that's the NOFX I like. I have come to the conclusion that I am a 50-50 NOFX guy too. I like half their songs, but the half that I like, I'm like ride or die on them. You can't get much better than that. But there's other chunks of these albums, like they've got like a 5 record run where I pretty much it's unstoppable kind of, right? And then you also have Ribbed, right? I don't like the 90s stuff like everybody else does. I don't care about Punk in Trouble. It's a good album. Okay. I've even listened to it recently. It's a good, I would say great album. It's just not one that I personally really rock with. It's really Pump Up the Volume and then all the way up through probably Coaster that I think are the best that they've ever done and the best they could do. I don't think you can get better than those records. It's an unpopular opinion. People think that Punk and Drublick's their best, and that's fine. I'm not going to say it's not great because it is. But man, just as far as songwriting, lyric writing, production, you get the whole package with those other albums. But yeah, dude, that song is a pretty bad song. You are correct, sir. That's one that I forgot all about that song. You said Ribbed, and I was like, what song is it? I thought you were going to say Green Corn, and I was like, please don't say Green Corn.
No.
And
Green Corn's what makes you excited for the rest of the album.
Right. Well, let's just keep it rolling then, because my last pick is also NOFX. Let me look something up real quick because yeah, before you guys get super duper pissed at me.
For the record, he's endorsing this opinion, not me. I'm just gonna sit back and mind my
Oh,
own
here we go. I am probably gonna get a lot of flack for this one, but let's see. I did write some notes down. What? Yeah. Well, okay. I was making sure I knew the year because I thought I did, but I was. Let me double check before I say something stupid, or stupider than what I'm fixing to say. The Decline. This album is garbage, dude. It's so overhyped. It's so pretentious, and it's just like 5 songs that they didn't decide to put a freaking second space in between. It's ridiculous that people suck this album's dick so much. Like, I don't get it, man. I will say, I want to end this conversation in a moment, like in a minute, right? With some positives, because I don't want to end it on a bad note. I want to end it on some positives, speaking specifically about The Decline. I do have some positive things to say about it. Those will come last because I want to complain about this for a minute, dude. I don't get it. I don't understand why everybody loves this record so much. I don't think it's some amazing feat of like musical, ingenuity. I don't think that they came out and I can't remember what their reason for doing this was. I think it was like Crass or somebody did some really long song or something, and they were like, well, we can do that. It's like, why? Like, especially when it came out, CDs were what we were listening to, right? How do you even get to your favorite parts on this album if it's on a CD? They didn't have the courtesy to at least maybe you leave out the spaces, but you put in the tracks so I could at least skip around. No, you got to listen to 18 minutes of bullshit. Like, I hate this record, dude. Like, look, punk rock songs are supposed to be 2 minutes. They're not supposed to be 18 minutes, bro. The outro on this song is the length of a punk rock song. What are we doing, guys? I hate it, dude. You know what? Hold on. I wrote some shit down. Give me a second. Like, this album, I had to listen to this shit twice. You know how pissed off that made me? Dude, I love you guys, the people watching. Clearly, I had to listen to shit twice. I didn't have to. I could have just not. But, so I put, starts off, I'm just going to read my notes because it's just so stupid because I was so irritated by the end of it that it was just like shorthand. I was just like, starts off sounding like classic NOFX, but it also just sounds like a lesser Pump Up the Volume, which I think is super accurate. Around the 2:20 mark, the music, it just stays the same, but the lyrical subject just changes abruptly. Why? Why do we do that, guys? How come the music still sounds the same, and then the whole entire subject and tone just goes, but the music doesn't change? Mike, I'm talking to you, buddy. What's going on? Look, if I ever get Fat Mike on this channel, I assure you I will bring this up. I promise. I am not scared of that guy. Also, he's kind of a dickhead sometimes, so I think he might roll with it. Shout out Fat Mike. He's awesome. Like, legitimately, I love Fat Mike, but like, he's kind of a turd. He's been rude to me a few times. Feels like a giant bowl of stuff. It's just a mess. It's like constantly changing and going back and then changing, but not really changing and kind of changing. The lyrics will change. Dude, the lyrics, it sounds like he just took a big page out of his like diary or notebook or whatever and just went, here's the lyrics for this song. It's like 3 days of my thoughts, but it's not cohesive at all. It doesn't, like, I can't follow along. And maybe just maybe it's a user error. Okay, I can accept that. but my opinion is still my opinion. So like whatever. I just don't care for it, man. Around the 350 mark is when it slows down. It's just not my style at all. I hate that when they slow the songs. I hate that sound of their music. 421 is where song 3 starts. And then I put the slow parts are just not what NoFX does well. Please stop doing this. Like 615, that's where song 4 starts. I hate when NoFX uses horns. I put that in here too. Just about the halfway point in, and another song starts. Just don't know why they didn't just make it an EP that it is. And dude, I was so irritated. And then I put like, look, I'm just a curmudgeony hater. It's okay. I put that in my notes. At 9:45, I put, I hate Tool. Also, this is track 5. Like, then we get an interlude at just over 11 minutes. Just make it separate tracks, dude. What the fuck, dude? This is a ridiculously long, stupid intro. What are we doing here? That's my notes. Oh, and then I got some things that I wrote that were positive. I need to stop for a second. I'm super irritated just thinking about the song. What's the deal, Rob? How wrong am I? Like,
you have an opinion, and it is your opinion, and no one can argue that your opinion is not your opinion. So like I've always been empathetic to your Decline take, because I've always liked the Decline, and I do consider it like a masterpiece the way that they do. But it's always been, I always felt like it takes a very specific situation and mood and all kinds of stuff to actually just listen to the dang song. Like it's like the equivalent of like one of the like 4-hour movies that's really good. Like it's good, but you're only gonna maybe watch it like 3 times in your life, because it really just kind of takes a lot out of you. Now,
that was an incredibly valid point, though. I agree with that.
I have, though. You ever do that thing where you experience the thing in person, and then you just kind of keep experiencing it after to try to recreate that moment, and then so you just kind of become a fan of that thing that you were doing?
The Descendants live show, every time I hear them now, I think of that experience. I don't know if that's the same thing you're talking about, but like
100%.
Now, whenever
100%.
I hear the Descendants, I think of watching Bill Stevenson play and watching Milo come out with this like water bottle thing on like a shoulder strap and being like, what is he doing? But then like it just kind of like click unlocked it for me, and I was like, oh. And on the same note, I do have to say I watched NoFX play their last show in Texas, and they played the Decline, and I would be lying if I said I didn't get a little emotional. Not necessarily because of the song, but because of the moment in time, and because this was their last show in Texas, and this was their last song, and it happened to be a song that I historically didn't like, which I found kind of hilarious and ironic even, because it's like 20 minutes, and I'm like, and then my camera died in the middle of it, which again, ironic. So when you watch my video of that set, it literally cuts off at the end. It wasn't because I wanted it to cut off. It just did it. My battery died, and it was like, nope, I'm done. But I appreciate that it exists, because I think that there's enough people that love this that I'm not the kind of guy that's selfish in that regard. Like I wouldn't take it and get rid of it. That's stupid. I just don't agree with people's take on it. And I think that for a punk band to release an EP, and I remember when it came out, man, everybody was super excited. And I remember, look, dude, here's the thing about music. A lot of this stuff gets remembered incorrectly. At least in my circles, when the Decline came out, nobody was into it because nobody understood it. There was a few people that liked it. There's always the super fan that's going to like it no matter what. But a lot of my people that got that record were like, what? And they like, it sat around in stacks of CDs forever, but it was always on the bottom because it was never the one that got picked. You know what I'm saying? So it never made it to the top of the CD stack because it was just sitting there at the bottom of the CD stack to Decline. And the packaging was cool. I thought the idea was cool. I think even when it came out, I think I was excited about it. I think if I remember correctly, I listened to it and I thought, this is all right. No. It very quickly became one that I just couldn't handle it, dude. The one song part of it, it really comes down to the fact that there are no places for you to skip it on a CD to where you can find parts about that you like. Because I think when we talked about it last time, there was a few parts on this song that I do like, kind of, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not enough for me to go listen to the whole song. And then there's this long outro, and it just goes on and on and on and on. The outro is like a full minute and a half, man. It's really long. And I'm just like, I don't like outros. I don't like intros. Like, why would I like this song? So it's just a song that has been, crafted in the exact way that goes against my grain. And I just don't like it. And people can love it. And I'm not going to tell them that they're wrong. I just disagree. And so, but saying all that, I do want to say there's a couple things that I do like about the song or the album, whatever you want to call it, right? The bass playing on the album. While I do not like the song in its entirety, there are things, even that part that sounds like Tool. I don't know which came first, by the way. I don't know if Tool.
Well, no, I don't know.
It was similar. It was in a similar time frame.
It's in that time. I don't think one necessarily ripped off the other.
No, I don't think so either. I just think it's funny that they sound relatively similar, and it's like that's funny because they couldn't be further from, each other in style and substance. But the bass playing, while I don't necessarily care for all of it, is pretty phenomenal. I think that the vocal harmonies are very well done. And this just makes me like the song less because I'm like, dude, there's no way I can just separate the parts I like because it's not divided into tracks. And that's my biggest gripe is if this exact thing was put out with tracks, they could still put it out as one song, The Decline, but it's divided into parts, especially on a CD. You could just go boop, 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 boop. Excuse me. I don't know if they ever even considered doing something like that. But in like a later release, if they were to do that, it might make me like this more. I don't know. But the vocal harmonies were great. I respect what it took to create this. While I don't like it, again, I have to keep saying that because I don't want people to think like, oh, yeah, you really actually do kind of like. No, I don't. But I can respect it. What it took to create this was probably very, very labor intensive. It probably was stressful. The last two things that I'll say about it that are positive are, one, playing this live is wild, bro. That's crazy. Like that almost changed my mind when I saw it live. I was kind of shocked when they started playing it. I was like, wow, they're going to play The Decline. I was like, this is crazy. And then I think the most important thing to talk about with this song is the drums. Holy shit. 18 plus minutes of playing the drums and without making a mistake is crazy. Like, I think Smelly is kind of an underrated musician. I think that people appreciate him when he comes up in conversation. The problem is he doesn't come up in conversation often. And I think that's kind of a crime, dude. I think Smelly is a top tier punk rock drummer, top tier drummer, I guess. But specifically within punk, he's goated, bro. Smelly is amazing. He's so fast and so accurate.
Do we take him for granted? Is that because like everyone, if you were to press them on it, would agree with you, right? Everyone would be like, "Oh yeah, like Smelly's," and because the NOFX sound, the skate punk sound, is Smelly. That's what we're always kind of talking about. I feel like when we're talking about that, like the whole thing exists because of his drum style. But I agree with you. I feel like, and maybe it's because does he just not get credit? You think amongst the punk fans or amongst like music in general? Like, where do you think that it's disconnecting?
I think that because he is in a position that is literally behind the rest of the band, that he just gets forgotten about.
Mm-hmm.
Because, okay, so I don't agree that we think of Smelly when we think of NOFX's sound, because I think NOFX has the similar thing with Rancid. If you take any part from it, it's going to be messed up. I think that El Jefe, while he wasn't on the first couple of releases, is just as important to NOFX as Fat Mike. And I think that Lars is just as important to Rancid as Tim. And so for that reason, I can't say that I think that we hear it and go, oh, that's Smelly. But I do think it's equal share and possibly a slight bit more even. Like instead of being 20%, it's 25. Like I think he carries a lot of the songs. I think he was professional when not necessarily everybody else wanted to be. So I also think that maybe he could have really just imploded that band a long time ago if he wanted. So I think he's an unsung hero, man. I do think that he gets a lot less credit than he deserves. And in the punk community, it's kind of hard to say because I think if you asked any punk rocker, like, hey, how you feel about Smelly? They'd be like, dude, that guy's rad. But if you asked him how you think about NOFX, I don't know that he would come up. So I guess within punk rock, he doesn't get his flowers really yet, you know? I mean, I often hear about Brett Reed when talking about Rancid, and I'm like, dude, he's not half the drummer that Brandon Steckenard is. Like Brandon's a far superior drummer, but Brett is who everybody loves,
Mhm.
and so I think Smelly's getting that treatment a little bit where people, if you ask about Smelly, they're like, well, hell yeah, he's rad. But if you ask about NoFX, they're going to talk about Fat Mike, maybe even El Jefe, and they're going to leave Smelly out to dry, kind of.
Mhm.
And it's a crime, dude. He's amazing, and I think it was kind of the glue that held the band together for a long time. Uh, you
He's
know,
definitely the second half of their career. He's definitely, I think, been the steady force. We should also note though he was like the most destructive force in that band for the first 20 years of their existence. Like if anything was going to rip apart NoFX, it was gonna be Smelly for that. Really until he got clean. Like
also valid.
that's also
Also true.
so
Also
it's
true.
like I feel like NoFX has this like self-destructive like title that one member has to wear, and like Smelly for his health and everything had to retire for that title, and he just passed it to Mike, and Mike ran it, the rest of the
Oh,
way
dude.
down.
Yeah, Mike took that title and made a crown out of it. Yeah, man. The Decline is my last pick for the night. People are gonna disagree with me. I know that. I don't whatever, man. Just let me know how wrong I am in the comments. But
That song though, I had a similar experience to you. I saw their last show in Denver, and it started raining again during when they started playing the Decline, and it was like because the person I was there with kind of hung back, so it was just me and a bunch of strangers in the rain, pretty intoxicated, like kind of singing a lot. It was a cool like it's the kind of moment that I don't think punk rock generally yields, like the kind of music moment, just
right.
because there's not a lot of music that's quite like that. So it was a really cool way to just sort of like say goodbye to NoFX. And then I will
Valid.
say too, some of my like two of my favorite YouTube videos that I watch all the time are the Decline at Red Rocks with the orchestra, because I just think that is phenomenal. I love to see the construction of all that. And then every now and then I'll pop on the last song NoFX ever played, which is the Decline with everybody in it. In particular with that performance, I love when the Less Than Jake guy hits the saxophone part towards the end. I don't know why, something about the way he hits that and the way the cameraman just kind of caught that just really, it was just like a cool piece of art. And it's from that song.
I've watched that performance like once or twice. I've never seen the one with the orchestra. That might actually change my mind a little bit. And look, dude, if I'm being honest about this is just me being like cheeky. I don't listen to that often because I don't actually like it, but I don't really. It's hard to find like punk music that I actually hate. Like it's
Mhm.
very rare that I don't actually hate Longview. I don't actually hate the Decline. I kind of do. I'm trying to not be a curmudgeonly old shit, but I think I am.
I actually hate Together in the Sand. The other two I don't. Well, no, maybe the Ramones song I don't actually hate. Of my three.
It's the you know what it is, dude, is that like I don't actually hate it until it comes up in conversation and then people start telling me how great it is. And I'm like,
Mhm.
dude, stop it. It's not that great. And I think the Decline, while difficult to make, maybe difficult to play live for sure, I think it could have been much better. I think that NoFX has the talent to make that song quite a bit better. But people are gonna tell me it's some kind of perfect magnum opus here in the comments, and I'm gonna be like, sure, whatever, dude. Like, I don't care, man. Like I mean, you know what? I almost brought up Rancid, and I think if we do this again, I probably will bring up a Rancid album because I want to hear people's response to my thoughts because I wonder if anybody agrees with me. So maybe I'll do that in a future video. But